All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game and Son and Father. On this particular video, I want to discuss Black Myth Wukong. This was a great game, in my opinion. It should have been Game of the Year. I was debating between that and Stellar Blade, um, but this one definitely took the cake. Now, in this episode, I'm going to discuss, in my opinion, the hardest bosses in Black Myth Wukong. This is based once again upon my opinion, and all of the bosses or bosses that gave me a lot of trouble. So we're gonna start off with the first boss in the discussion, and here it is, the one in right. Now, this boss is at the bottom of my list, and it is, in my opinion, one of the hardest bosses because of where it comes within the game. Um, is at the very beginning, and in the grand scheme of things, once you get the hang of the game, he's really not hard. But in the beginning, this dude is very tough, and he got this expanding AOE blast, as you can see right here. That if you're not careful, he can catch you. And on top of that, he got a command main wave. So all of those things there, as well as his full attacks and everything, made him very, very complicated for me, being that he was so close in the beginning. However, one thing that would definitely help you to beat him is if you go and learn your first transformation. And when I first initially started playing him, I did not see that path that led to the first transformation of the game. And so, as you can see, when I finally did beat him, I had, I just got frustrated for trying to fight him so long that I went and I got this transformation that definitely helped me. But at any rate, at the bottom of my list, you have the Wandering Wyatt. Um, this was my one of my hardest bosses in the game. All right, so the next hardest boss for me, second to last on my list, is Yellowbrow. Now, as you can see, Yellowbrow turns golden, and for a while, that just gave me problems because you just bounced off him. But I did not know all you had to do was a charge smash attack, and you would knock him out of it immediately. So it took me a while to figure that out. But beyond that, he has a whole bunch of attacks that will just make this fight difficult. He got three phases. He got an attack that was electric attack that he can swirl you, put electricity and whirls around you, and circulates you, and just have you trapped in there, and it does a lot of damage. And in addition, I couldn't use certain spells. He could easily break out of the spell that I forgot the name of the one that freezes people. And on top of that, if you do your duplicates, he would just turn them against you. So I had to pretty much just change up and stop using certain attacks to really beat him. But beyond that, oh, and the transformations, he can knock you out your transformations pretty fast as well. So you kind of limited. Um, but even though I didn't do that, it's probably best to do Spellbinder against him to because I essentially didn't use a lot of spells anyway due to the nature of this fight. But yeah, this one here took me a long time. Then he even had these. You can see this big giant AOE blast that just did a lot of damage as well. I mean, it's crazy. So this fight here. Oh, he got some swirling electric attacks that he'll start throwing at you while he's swinging his wand right here. Um, it's one that he's kind of going around in a circle and it's like going everywhere. So those attacks were very challenging. But at the end of the day, once I here's that swirl attack that I was talking about. Once I got the hang of him, I kind of got him down, but it took me over an hour to beat this one particular boss. So yeah, Yellowbrow is one of the, in my opinions, one of the hardest bosses in Black Myth Wukong. All right, so the next on my list is the Yellow Wind Sage. This one took me a few hours to beat. This guy was nuts. Now, the thing that really made him difficult for me was pretty much the second phase. Now, if you in the first phase, if you get a really hard, smash attack on him, you could get him to fall to the ground, and you can get a few easy hits on him, free hits, I should say. But he jumps around a lot, and then he, on top of that, he got this attack that if he drive his fork in the ground on you, he can like really throw you up in the air and do a lot of damage. But the biggest problem came in the second phase when he was sitting there disappearing and then bringing these big giant heads out of the sky that will smash you. Then he's kicking around and stuff like that. Um, that caused me some problems. There it is, right there. So it took me a while to get used to this attack, but once I got used to it and I learned the pattern, that part wasn't that bad. But if he gets that kick on you up in the air, he gets some lots of damage on you. So yeah, and then the hardest thing was that he'll start throwing his cyclone at you, and that can be a problem. If you have that I forgot what it's called, that thing that you can cloak and protect yourself against wind damage, it automatically knock his wind out. I didn't really learn that, realize that too. I did New Game Plus, but the biggest thing with him is that he will a lot of times just be completely off of the stage and still attacking you, and you can't get to him. And so that made things even more challenging. But yeah, this rat, which to me, was a bit of a shocker because I had went to the Golden Realm and I had helped them out. And how do you repay me? By sitting there kicking my butt for a couple of hours. But at any rate, once I got him down, I was finally able to beat him once I got his pattern, but it took me a long time. So, yeah, the Sage is definitely on my list of the hardest bosses of Black Myth Wukong. Oh, and by the way, he's just in chapter 2. So he is fairly early in the game. Yeah, you can knock this out with that wind thing. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, let's go on to the next boss. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, next on my list is the Yakasha King. If I say that right, Yaksha King or whatever. This one here took me some hours as well. And man, um, this boss here was tough. After you get through fighting Red Boy, you sitting there thinking, "Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool," and you see he transformed to this thing here after he steal something, some kind of relic or something like that. You think, "Okay, cool, cool, cool. It's gonna be easy too." Nope. Nope, 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 nope. This dude is tough. He has these attacks. That one is not that bad, but he has these attacks when his little things with his arm get super duper long. See right there? And these sequence of attack patterns for me were very hard to time. So especially that one there. So this right here, this attack took me out a majority of the time because I had a hard time figuring out the pattern. He also got something when he got all these spikes come out the ground. That was not too bad. See, once you see it coming, you can just move out the way. But then he'll do another one of those attacks there. So pretty much, in a nutshell, what made this hard for me was when his arm got super duper long, and then he had start swinging those his arms around. Those attack patterns really gave me a hard time, and I had a hard time dodging it. So for that reason, the Yakusha King was definitely up there, almost at the top of my list of the hardest bosses in Black Myth Wukong. So we coming, close to the end, ladies and gentlemen, as far as my hardest bosses. So let's keep it moving. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we get into the top two hardest bosses for me in Black Myth Wukong. And of course, at the top of my list is Tiger Vanguard. This one took me hours to beat. I mean, hours. He is so early in the game. He's optional, just like the Warner and Wyatt was. And I just took him on. And just like the Warner and Wyatt, I did not know he was optional. But at the end of the day, I took him on, and he had so much health. And on top of that, these moves he had was just that attack right there. The timing of it gave me problems. Now, this right here was the main reason, that attack there, that I had lost the fight so many times. Um, he was just tough. And on top of that, when he started doing a little thing, he turned to stone. To be honest with you, um, if you would have just not hit it, you would have been okay. But me, I kept on hitting it. So at the end of the day, um, this, yeah, right there, just don't hit it. You'll be fine. But at the end of the day, sometimes he will just attack you right there, and so that attack was just hard for me to time. For for this boss here, it's really just a timing issue. And he hits like a truck. Now that attack there, I used to love that attack because at the end of the day, I could easily time it. But beyond that, his attacks were pretty hard to time, and that is a reason why. And the fact that he hit like a truck, the Tiger Vanguard was coming to the top of my list because he was a beast. Now, I know y'all probably thinking, um, I only got one more boss I'm going to discuss. Um, okay, there's two bosses that is on the top of just about everybody's list, and I only got time for one more. And it's just like you're wondering, well, who do you leave off? Well, I'll just say this here. Um, it is not Yellow Long. Yellow Long only took me two times to beat him. So while I'm hearing all these horror stories about how hard Yellow Long is, one of the hardest bosses of the game, for me, he was fun. For me, it only took me two tries. But to each his own. For some people, he's the most difficult, and for some people, wondering why it was gave me problems, probably wasn't difficult at all. So everybody has a challenge, with different bosses. Everybody's not the same, but at any rate, Yellow Long is not on my list. He was fun. It only took me two tries to beat him. So I'm pretty sure everybody know what is the top hardest boss for me. Okay, I guess you can tell from the scenery who my top hardest boss was. It was Erling. This did not take me hours. This took me days. I had to skip this fight, go and fight more people, and then change around a whole lot of my settings in the game, change the way I had everything outlined, and just really, 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 really take a lot of time to get as much equipment as possible to beat this boss finally after days. First things first, he got this big old shield on him. So, you have to use a fan. The fan is the best way to beat him. And and once you get that fan down, then you can get his shield down, then you can get some good damage in. But I had to find the best tools to use to beat him, as far as what transformations and everything use, because he can easily take and just totally knock your transformation out. So and he has three phases as well. And those phases each has their own unique challenges. But at the end of the day, after I had took time and went and beat almost every boss except for the final boss, I was able to find the correct attack patterns, the correct transformations. Because this, like for instance, this transformation I'm using right now, this is the only transformation he does not attack. He just sit there and let you just beat him down, and this attack will take out the shield and everything. So there is very specific patterns, specific items to use that will make this fight trivial. Because once I had pretty much used those attack patterns, then this fight became trivial. And then on top of that, you can't use the immobilizer on him unless his shield is down. And so pretty much this fight had a lot of challenges. See, I'm able to use my mobilizer, but if you don't have his shield down, then he can immediately break out the immobilizer. And so pretty much you just have to have certain transformations in place, certain items in place. I definitely go for critical hit. Um, Bring your critical hit damage up as high as possible, and that way you can make this fight easy. But yeah, this fight took me lots of days, and I actually had to do some research. To be honest with you, just to get him down. But yeah, by far the hardest boss in Black Myth Wukong, in my opinion, is Erling. But once you get him down, you will feel a lot of joy if you can survive. But I mean by survive, if after all the hours and days you spend trying to fight him, you don't just give up. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is my top hardest bosses in Black Myth Wukong. I really hope you guys get a copy of this game. It is it is very fun, enjoyable. It is not as hard as people say it is. Besides these couple of bosses I named, some people make it seem like all the bosses were extremely difficult. No, just a few. Not saying that some bosses didn't give me some challenges, but these are the ones that took a whole lot of time for me to beat. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed this. Comment below, what is your hardest bosses in Black Myth Wukong? And y'all take care.